Do you want to know the secret to client success? This is a secret which all the gurus are hiding from you, stopping you from slashing down your churn rate and increasing your monthly recurring revenue every single month. The truth is that there is no secret. Client success breaks down into a ton of different factors which you and your team need to be doing well consistently. In this video, we're breaking down part of the communication factor, showing you how client portals can be an incredibly useful tool in your agency to enhance your client's experience. Imagine having a space where clients can log in, see everything you're working on, comment feedback, and be in the loop 24/7, never left wondering what's actually going on. Having clear communication with your team and your clients is extremely important, but if done wrong can lead to a headache at scale. However, if done right, you'll be able to consistently update your clients without lifting a finger, keeping them happy and building them that long-term relationship to slash down those churn rates in your agency. I'll be showing you the behind-the-scenes example of how our SME should be using client portals and breaking down benefits that come up with setting this tool. If you're looking for a better way to interact with your existing clients without having to scramble between 5 different softwares, then pay attention because we aren't holding anything back in this video. Let's get straight into it. Alright guys, before I move on to the live demo section of this to show you what a client portal looks like, or at least a case study of a client portal, I want to talk about the actual benefits and why you should set this up within your agency. There are a ton of different benefits, but the way we see it, it breaks down to 3 main things. So let's get straight into it. So the first benefit is that constant communication loop you're actually opening with your clients. Like I said, this is a place where you can log in and see all the different tasks that you're working on, whether they're in progress or whether they're completed. And if they open up any of these single tasks, they can open up and see all the different information. For example, what you're doing, the due date, any important files associated to the task. So they're never actually left wondering what's happening or what's going on, because you're keeping them in the loop 24/7 by giving them somewhere they can log in and basically overlook you and making sure that you're doing everything you say you're doing. The number one thing you do not want is a confused client. Using client portals is an amazing way to avoid this because you're giving them a clear breakdown on everything you're doing. And if they have any questions, like I said, they can just open up the individual tasks and see everything that you're doing. The second benefit of this is that it actually cuts down on your own time. So a question I get a lot on sales calls, and I'm showing this to different clients, is having people asking me, won't this take too long to actually maintain? Well, the answer is no. And the only reasons like this, because this is automatically linked to your own project management tool, like ClickUp or Asana or even Notion. So let's say you're working on a task in any of these platforms, it will automatically update within the client portal, avoiding you having to do everything twice, basically, or copy and pasting anything over. And trust me, I used to do this back in the day. It's a complete waste of time, and doing this is just literally wasting your time for no reason. In terms of actually time saving, this saves you a lot of time actually having to respond to messages. So instead of going back and forth on email, Slack, or even WhatsApp, you and your team can do the same exact work you do on your project management side of things, and it automatically updates to keep the client in the loop with everything that's going on. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have some other form of external communication like Slack or Gmail or even WhatsApp, depending on the specific service. But you won't have to spend those 2 hours every single day drafting up messages and responding to messages. They can automatically be in the loop just by checking out their client portal and seeing everything that's going on. Trust me, it will save you having to check your phone every half an hour trying to put out fires, and just calms the customer down a bit because once again, they can see everything that's going on. They're never left wondering, oh, what are they doing? Is this even worth my money? That they can see all the work you're doing, which obviously prevents them from spamming you in your communication platform of choice. And the last main benefit you actually get of this is actually showing your authority. Imagine you just sign up with a company and you have your own portal where you can log in, see all the tasks you're working on. You can see what everyone else is doing. They can see what they need to do. In my opinion, this is nothing but actually show your expertise in your service delivery niche. It's obviously something that you've done before in the past and successfully in order to have these systems set up within your agency. So it's a great way to actually impress your clients, decrease that buyer's remorse that they get as soon as they purchase, and increase your authority and relationship, which is a very important thing that you need to establish when working with clients because you don't want them bossing you around or thinking that they're doing you a favor by working you. These are the 3 main benefits that I see from client portals. Like I said at the start, guys, there are a ton of different benefits that you can achieve using client portals. This by itself is a great reason to actually get them started within your agency. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is show you through a live example of what this actually looks like. And I'm going to be showing you a case study we're breaking down for imaginary company created called Pixel Spot. This is literally a company I made from ChatGPT. If you want to pause this and read some information about them, this is basically the company, the short form editing company, and I'm going to show you the client portal we built up for them. So the first thing a client can do is log in. Once they're in, they see this, which is basically the homepage with their specific profile picture. If they ever wanted to change this, all they have to go is go over here, view profile, and they can update their profile picture just like that. Also, when we go back to home, they see a couple main things. These are a couple pre-programmed buttons. So if they want to book a meeting, all they have to do is press this, and it'll take them to a booking page. If they want to view their task, all they have to do is take this and it'll take them to their task section. If they want to report an error, once again, all they have to do is take this and it'll take them straight to a Google form to actually report errors. Now let's dive into what it actually looks like on a sidebar. So quite obviously, you have a search bar. If you want to search for a specific task or project, they can. The exciting thing is my project. So we open them up, they have all the information about their project, the start date, the budget they actually invested into this, any important links that are related to the project, tasks associated with the project, with they can also update if they wanted to, all the completed work, and all the assigned team members that are actually helping them out with the project. Now, this is very, very cool. And like I said to you guys, a very, very important thing of this is that this links automatically to your own task database when you're working with your clients. So you don't have to spend time manually entering here and updating it for each client. It's all done automatically. But I'll get more into that when we go over the task sections. Another thing that we can set up in the tracker is different type of analytics. So this is quite simple. All this person can see is the amount of tasks we've done, if there's any delayed tasks, the most recent task and when it was done, and the amount of videos created, as well as a breakdown of the different stages of the task in. If we switch over to another client to see what this looks like for someone else, if we go to John, you can see he's got 2 tasks in progress, 1 is ready to review, he had 1 video created and 2 tasks are delayed, which if we go over to the task database, you can see these are the 2 tasks that are actually delayed. It's a very cool thing, and there's a lot of different analytics you can set up here. This is just to show you an example of some different things you can do. But let's get on to the most important part of this whole portal, which is actually the task section. Now, it's split into 3 main sections. This is just general overview of all the tasks. But when you're working with a client, you'll have different types of tasks. Tasks that you are doing and tasks that you need the client to do, which is why we split in this section. So at the moment, John doesn't have any tasks that he needs to do. So let me switch over the client to someone else. We'll go back to Smith Carroll. And as you can see, this is a client task, which basically means it's a task that she needs to complete. And if she opens it up, she can see all the information about the tasks, the different progress stages, the start date and the due date, which doesn't have any information right now, and the actual description of the task that she needs to input. So let's say she had to complete something, she could enter it here. And as soon as it's done, update it to ready to review so a team member can actually look at it. And if you go back to the task database, back to what we need, you can see it's already been updated to the ready to review stage. The second half of it is the work that we are doing as a company. As you can see, she has 2 different tasks, and we've got some cool buttons here, which mean different things. So the first button is approved. This only shows up when a specific task is in a ready for review stage. So if the client has something that they need to check and make sure everything's all right, all they can do is open up this section and approve it, and it automatically updates it to the complete section. The second button we have only shows up when a task is in the other sections, and it basically allows the client to request an update on a specific task. Once again, this prevents any back and forth on Slack or any other communication platform they're using. All they have to do is press this, confirm, and it will automatically send a message to the team, letting them know that client wants an update on this task, and to message them to let them know everything's okay. And the last section is just to see a clear view of all the completed work that's been done. Once again, this is the database that the client can open up and see all the different information, any comments, anything like that. Like I said to you guys, this is all linked to the own internal team tasks. So for example, we're going to take task 8 specifically. Right now it's in the process stage. We're going to move it to the ready to review, and we're going to add a description. Testing 8812 auto update. Doesn't really matter. It's just an example, right? And we'll put a checklist here. We're going to log in as a team member, which in this example is Barbara, and we're going to go over to all tasks because obviously they're team admins, so they have information about all the different classes or different clients. We're going to look for task 8, which is right here in the ready to review stage. And as you can see, they have the update here. So we can also communicate with the client. So for example, if we take this and we add in a comment saying this is ready for, please check. Now, if you go back to the client page, find the exact same task, you can see all the comments are automatically there. So like I said, guys, our main thing about client portals is you want to have it linked. You want to have the client view of it or the client task linked to your actual task database. Because if not, you'll have to update everything manually, which doesn't really work out, especially at scale. There's a couple more things in this client portal that I want to show you guys. I'll just show you different possibilities of what you can actually do. This is the meeting section. Now, this Smith Carroll doesn't have any meetings in March, but if you go back to February, you can see she has 2 different meetings, and we can open this up and see the different information about the meeting. So it was 45 minutes long. It was at this day at this time. She doesn't have any action items for the meeting, which are basically tasks. The participants are not loading, but it's still once again a link to the project. Within the meeting space, you can actually see all the upcoming meetings and her past meetings filtered down into different types of meetings. So if it's a client call or a review call, and I'll show you this for another client just to give you some more examples. we can see that Ethan actually has a meeting today. So if we go to upcoming meetings, we can see this one and we press that and you can see it actually has an action item, which is basically just a task that's related to the meeting. And it shows the participants of the meeting, the link to the actual project, which in this case is Ethan's project. And the same thing goes for past meetings. We can open up and see the different tasks for this one. So we have a completed task, which is example task 5. And anything we do here is automatically updated in the task database, which you can check out here. In the last section, in this specific example of a client portal, we have resources. Now, these are different SOPs or resources you may want to share with your clients. And if you open any of these up, you can see like a guide on how to do it, when it should happen, a checklist, and any important links. So here we have a whole case study, a whole file on specific sales script for this company, the availability when it was last updated, and if it needs any work. And we see that for all the different types of tasks from sales, editing, tutorials, or even kind of different meeting practices or softwares. And we open up, we see the exact same thing. Another cool thing I actually forgot to show you is the different filters you can set up. Now, there's a ton of different filters you can set up in each of these individual sections. But let's say you wanted to filter it only for review calls. Now it updates the calendar so that it only shows review calls, which in this specific example, Ethan doesn't have any. If we change again, that's just a kickoff calls. You can see specifically all of Ethan's kickoff calls. All right, guys, 2 more sections. The first one is a Slack channel. Now, it's not going to work here because I'm not logged in as the client. But if they were logged in, all they have to press is this button to automatically take them to their specific Slack channel. And last but not least, we have status update. We like to have these. This we use Insta Status, which is a cool tool. You can just embed in whatever it is that you're using. And it just kind of shows all the different statuses of different software like ChatGPT, like Slack, or even our website. Obviously, you can take this percent depending on what you need to kind of show your clients, but it's a kind of cool update that I like. So if there's any report of any downtime in any of the software that we use, it automatically lets us know, and the client can check this out to make sure everything's okay. Now, guys, there's different types of client portals. There's what I just showed you, which is probably on the higher end, is a bit more complicated, but depending on the different business stage you're in at your agency, there's different solutions that may work. You can even use Google Sheets, Notion is a great option, and even Smart Suite, which is actually what we use for the back end of what I just showed you. At the end, all it breaks down to is a bunch of different databases that work together to communicate with each other to make sure everything's linked. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that each one of these platforms don't have their own limitations, because if they didn't, we wouldn't have built something like this out, which is what we do for all of our clients in our agency accelerator program. But these are a great starting point to create your own version of a client portal. I would especially recommend Notion. Like I said, it does have its own limitation, which is why I moved away from it, but it's a great starting point and you can do a lot of design things on Notion. It just depends on different stage you're at with your agency. And I generally would not recommend this to anyone doing less than 10K a month because it's not necessary. And you just end up spending a lot of time and money for no reason. So I hope this has given you an overview of what a client portal actually looks like. Like I said, this is a case study for a fictitious company we made up. So there's a ton of different things we can do here. But this is a great starting point, an example of a client portal that I'll be happy to ship out with the main goal of improving your client success within your agency by keeping your client in the loop 24/7 and never leaving them in the dark wondering what you're doing next or what's actually going on. Now, guys, this is just a starting point. If you want access to a 20+ page document which goes over exactly how to do stuff like this to set up a skill proof agency using your specific pain points in your agency and spitting out ways to optimize your different processes and specific examples of different automations you can set up, check out the first link in the description. All you have to do is fill out a quick form and you'll get access to this within 5 minutes. It's a super, super cool tool. And our new improved lead magnet, we spent about 40 hours putting this together for you guys. And like I said, it's a super, super valuable tool if you want to do stuff like creating client portals within your agency. If you've watched up to this point, you're probably interested in automation and how you can actually use that in your agency. So if that's you, check out the second in the description to sign up to a free newsletter. We try to send out 2 weekly newsletters every single week, just giving you some tips of different ways you can set up this skill-proof agency using automation and different systems. And lastly, if you want us to help you set up a client portal like this within your agency to actually improve your client success, you can check out the third link in the description, which takes you on to a 10-minute video breaking down exactly what we do to help agencies. Now, I will say that this is not for everyone. So if you're in the early stages of agency, I wouldn't recommend signing up. But we get a ton of questions every single day asking us, what do we do? So we put together this free training right here to give people that insight. Guys, I'm sure this video has been valuable, so if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm 100% sure there's no one else in this industry giving away this much value and showing you a deep dive into what the internal systems actually look like. We recently hit 250 subscribers, so thank you so much for everyone's support. Like I said, if you want to see more content like this, breaking down different internal systems within agencies, how you can actually use them to set up a skill-proof agency, subscribe and leave a like to see more videos like this in your feed. That's it from me today, guys. I hope you make the most of the free resources we have for you guys. They're there for a reason, and we put a lot of time into giving you guys as much value as we possibly can. So check out all the links in the description. And if you have any questions about any part of this, all you have to do is drop a comment below. We literally respond to every single comment. In all honesty, guys, we're still a very, very small channel. So this is the perfect opportunity to get in contact with us and ask us any questions in the comments, because 9 times out of 10, we're going to respond to you with an in-depth answer, presenting you a complete solution to your problem completely for free. So if any of this sounded confusing, I know I went through it quite quickly, all you have to do is just respond with a comment and I'm more than happy to answer your questions. I'm sure this was useful, guys. I really appreciate you watching until the end, and I'll catch you in the next one.